Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to Locker Talk ATX. My name is Thomas Bingham, joined alongside by Beyer and Producer Josh. We are the voices for sports talk in the San Antonio Hill Country area. Excited to be back. Got a great show for y'all today. Obviously, we have a new format this week. You've already taken a look at our From the Bench rapid fire segment. That went well, and obviously it turned out well as well. Hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't checked it out already, pause this video, go watch it, and then come back and watch this video. We have so much content on this week's program. Obviously, on this show, from here on out, our Tuesday segment is going to be our High of the Week segment. So, obviously, we'll continue with what we've done historically in terms of like telling you what our personal highs are, but also, we're going to dive into some other topics. We get to mix it up a little bit. Exactly. Yeah. So, definitely excited for that. Stay tuned for all the other regular segments you're used to in the coming days. That's going to be the thing from here on out. Every day you're going to get a new segment, and it's definitely going to allow us to kind of broaden our base, and I'm just excited for everything.
Yeah, chop it up a little bit. Like you said, our rapid fire was yesterday on Monday, and now we're doing a high of the week. What's tomorrow going to be?
Tomorrow is going to be our kind of like area recap, or not just area recap, but like area sports update.
Yeah, so we're talking high school sports quite a bit there, and then do we have a Thursday show as well?
Yeah, so From the Bench, our main one will be on Thursday, and then our pick'em will come out on Friday.
That's awesome. So we just got the weekly breakdown right now. Well, we're on the Highs of the Week segment.
Exactly.
And, this is a Tuesday show. Thomas, I have a feeling I would be very shocked if you forgot about this. What is your High of the Week?
So I don't know if I'm going to make it my High of the Week. But are you talking about Texas Independence Day?
I am talking about Texas Independence Day.
Happy Texas Independence Day, y'all. Hope you had a great one. Obviously, this is coming out on Tuesday, but we're recording it on Texas Independence Day, Monday.
Yep. So, okay, you've satisfied me. I knew that had to be included somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, both you and I are big-time Texans. I know producer Josh is as well, so obviously it had to come up in the show.
It had to be mentioned, yes. So
my High of the Week, it was a pretty productive week for me, but there was a day last Wednesday, where I probably got more work done in a single day than I have in years.
Wow.
And I was literally just like punching out like story after story after story. And part of that was I'd been given basically 2 weeks of a lot of assignments, and I had to get everything done by last Thursday. And so I got everything else done, and then Wednesday I just started knocking everything out, and then I finished up on Thursday. And it was a very productive 2 weeks, and especially that day. So Wednesday, I definitely am going to look back on as like a very productive and successful day.
If not for the last minute, would anything get done?
No, because, I mean, you basically have to, like, put pressure on yourself to get everything done.
Yeah. Hey, you got it all done, and that's what counts. You know what I'm saying? So good job, man.
Thank you.
You got all those assignments in. Well, my High of the Week, in case you didn't say it, my High of the Week was going to be Texas Independence Day. But on the same realm of Texas, the Longhorn basketball team has been
heated up.
Really heating up. They beat West Virginia 67-57, and then most recently outdid Texas Tech 68-58. That's a huge win. So this draws a question, and I know we want to get to Josh's High of the Week, but maybe this might be a little interlude between the two. Is this enough to save Shaka's job?
I mean, my short answer is no. I mean, he's going to have to keep winning. And I would say he has to win at least a NCAA tournament game to save his job.
Just one. So your bar is one.
He's never won an NCAA tournament game while at Texas.
So just one saves his job? He's not won a single tournament?
I think and obviously this team's won 4 in a row as of our recording, and that's a good kind of surge that they've had. I mean, one of the longest win streaks while he's been at Texas, but you got to do more than that. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to continue that success into the postseason, maybe pick up a win or two in the conference tournament, show, we're building off this late momentum, but ultimately, the thing that they've not been able to do, they've been close a couple times, but they've not been able to win an NCAA tournament game. They got to win at least one to save his job.
I was thinking he's got to make it to like the Elite Eight or Final Four. Like the bar is that high for him to not lose his job? Because I just don't see one win in the NCAA tournament keeping it.
But, I mean, I think if you're able to, like, just say they finish out the regular season, they continue this win streak going in the Big 12 tournament, maybe pick up a win or two, have an extended win streak. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, they'll lose somewhere in the Big 12 tournament, but, if they're able to bounce back from that, win a tournament game or two, kind of like what you're saying, or obviously go further than like you're saying, then that can hopefully show the athletic department, the fans that, hey, we won the NIT last year. We've shown some late progression this season. Maybe we give him one more year.
Maybe. I just think that his leash is already short because he's not Chris Del Conte's hire.
True.
And so Del Conte wants to probably put his guy in, somebody that he's vetted and trusts. And you're looking at the body of work that Shaka's been able to put in. And, like, to this date, like you said, he's not won a single NCAA tournament game at Texas. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's going to – what's up?
No, he hasn't.
He has won. Yeah, in the didn't they get to the second round in the second year?
No, they haven't been past the first round, I believe.
Ooh, we need to look that up.
You keep on talking. I'll keep on talking.
So
I'll look into that.
Josh will confirm it, but I think it's going to take, even if so let's pretend that he has won a single game. Let's go with that. Even if he has won a single game.
I'm pretty sure they beat Nevada.
If it's even just one game, I still think you're looking at the total body of work, and it's going to take more than just one win this year to do that. And you want to see something more promising. So maybe the bar is the Elite Eight. Maybe it's got to be something where you're just not, you've made it past entering the tournament in the round of 32. You've got to show some promise with, okay, next year's the year. I'll extend you a year because I saw what you're able to do and able to accomplish, and that's more than just squeaking into the tournament.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously the expectations were high coming in after what he did at VCU, and regardless of. And like I said, I'm pretty sure he hasn't won one at Texas. I'm pretty sure.
All right, so then my next question is, if it's enough to save his job, do you want it to be enough to save his job? Like, are you okay with that?
I mean, the thing is, I need to see something. I mean, looking back to last year, and this is something I actually was talking to my family about because we were talking about some March Madness. It's finally March. That tournament's right around the corner. And, I was like, I was very excited when Texas won. I was probably like the most excited Texas fan when they won the NIT last year. And people are always surprised when I say that. And the biggest reason is since I've been alive and since I've really been a fan of Texas hoops in the early 2000s, Texas has never found success in these postseason tournaments. Whether it was the Big 12 or the NCAA, prior to last year, obviously NIT. I think they were in like the CBI or CIT when we were in college one year. And, they were never able to win one of those tournaments. And I thought that was a nice milestone. I thought that was something that for this program was a big deal because historically they haven't done a lot of that. And not just in my lifetime, but historically. I mean, yeah, they won the other NIT about 40 years before when my dad was in college. And I know they had some Southwest Conference, tournament championships. But, this is present day, and I thought it was a big momentum shift potentially. And the way they started out the season, they dropped some games they should have won. And it kind of steered a lot of people, including myself, in a direction where it's like, okay, well, Shaka doesn't seem to be the guy that needs to be running this show. And, same thing I was telling my family this week when we were having this discussion a week or two ago. I didn't even know if Texas could repeat as NIT champions the way they were playing. And now they have a shot to make the NCAA tournament if they keep winning. And I would say if they keep winning and do what I said in terms of picking up some more regular season wins and, win a game or two in the Big 12 tournament and win a single NCAA game, I'd be okay if he stayed another year. But if he falls short of any of that, he definitely needs to go.
Yeah.
He's not one.
He's not one?
No.
It was, Nevada. They lost in overtime, 87-83.
And I think they had a close call against Butler, too.
It was on a buzzer beater, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, I think the bar is set high. I just think a lot of it's going to come down to he's not Chris Del Conte's guy. He's never won an NCAA tournament game at Texas, and he's going to have to prove himself to do a lot more than that this year.
Well, and you could be right. Maybe – for Del Conte, like you said, he's not his hire, and so maybe he needs to see more than what I'm anticipating. I'm just saying, this has been a point that, when they had Rick Barnes, they would regularly win tournament games. Not only the opening round, but go multiple rounds deep. And, obviously with the expectation, like I mentioned before, that, Shaka had coming in after what he did at VCU, he was expected to be immediately having success, and that never occurred. And with him having a couple close calls early on in his tenure at Texas in terms of the NCAA tournament losses, I'm sure it kind of has deflated him at times, and even fans and the program in general. But for him to be able to get to that point, for me, that's all that would be needed. But I totally understand if, like what you're saying, if they got to get to at least a Sweet 16 or Elite 8. At least, if maybe Del Conte is in the same boat as you are, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Josh, do you have anything to weigh in before we get to your high?
No.
No? All right, let's get to your high. What you got for us?
I don't know. I've had a super busy week, so I guess my high of the week just be that I don't have to drive to Houston and waste a day of travel to pick something up because I was able to work all around it, so don't have to waste a whole day driving up to Houston just to pick up one thing. So.
What was the thing?
It's a iPod. So it's basically a 25-foot tripod. So
there you go.
But I don't have to go get that, so I'm happy.
Thank God you don't have to pick that thing.
I mean, it's not that it's not, hey, I have to go pick it up, but it's just basically, 8 hours to drive to Houston and back, basically. So, it'd be a wasted day. So
it would be. I do have to say, man, your tan's looking good. You got a nice little color.
Tan.
It's a work tan. So he was, well, for those who don't know, he was out there filming. Was this for VYPE Live?
No, just helping out. So I got to train up some filmers sometimes and whatnot. So.
God, well, I got a good. I liked his high. It was very, very to the point. I didn't have to go to Houston, thank God, for a tripod. I'm noticing your hat, by the way, and the other football team in Dallas is the Renegades
of the XFL.
And we're going to talk about that because the NFL just inspired it in my head. Is Landry Jones went down on a knee injury?
I know. I mean, that's a big loss for the Renegades.
I mean, is it though? I mean, he had thrown 3 interceptions before that.
And I know. I mean, he had a really awful start to that game.
He had 4 turnovers total in the first half.
Well, his first couple drives were
wasn't
interceptions.
It like 2 or 3 in a row?
I think it was first 3 drives of the game were interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. And then obviously he had another one later on in the game, but he was one of the guys that I thought going into the XFL, he and Bob Stoops reuniting was going to result in a lot of great success. And they're off to a slow 2-2 start. Not a bad start, but obviously with him going down for a significant part of the season, if not the rest of the season, it'll be interesting to see where the Renegades go. Yeah.
So it's you've probably seen more XFL than either Josh or me, nor me. So. You're a Roughneck fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How is the XFL kind of looking in comparison? Now we had no weeks off. We went Super Bowl, XFL.
Yeah.
And I think the best week the XFL had as far as an audience was its first week.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, it's kind of declined, but it's stayed a little bit steady, a lot steadier than it did the first time it came around in 2001.
Yeah.
But it's kept your interest?
It has, and I was watching the Roughnecks take on the Renegades on Sunday, and I could tell, especially that, and I knew this before. I knew this going into watching the XFL that it was not going to be the level of the NFL. So I had my expectations kind of low. But what's really excited me is, there was a lot of not great quarterback play, which was a surprise in the Renegades Roughnecks game, because obviously Landry Jones has had success, throughout his football career prior to this, but also PJ Walker. His first 3 games were remarkable for the Roughnecks, and he's been, explosive with his feet. He can, bomb it down the field, and he's just very exciting to watch. And the thing that's really, besides him, that's really kind of kept my interest is the Roughnecks defense. I mean, they were phenomenal, not only against the Renegades, but they have been so far up to this point. I mean, they're forcing turnovers left and right, a lot of interceptions. And for me, as long as, there's something that is exciting about what I'm watching, I'm all for, like, keeping or tuning in on a weekly basis. And like I said, I know it's not the NFL, but I am excited to see, where this can go down the line, because it could be served as like a minor league in a sense, whether it's officially, linked with the NFL or not, because it is truly, it's fitting between college football and the NFL, and guys that, haven't been getting much play time in the NFL, maybe they're on the practice squad or like the 3rd or 4th string at their position. This gives them an opportunity to have some great game film, and really, they could have some great NFL chances down the line if they're shining. Obviously, if you're like a guy like PJ Walker, who's really at this point leading the charge in the entire league.
Yeah, I think I saw something where it might have been a headline on Yahoo where it was talking about him being kind of the first superstar. And an interesting thing I learned from there is not the Ravens. One of the teams playing the Ravens, they wanted to sign him to a short contract to emulate Lamar Jackson.
Oh, interesting.
And you watch him, and he does show a little bit of size. I think he's got his own flair to him, but he is fun to watch, and it's going to take a couple more players like him. But, I mean, I think they're having a pretty successful run so far. But anyway, that's kind of that's our first high of the week show there, Thomas.
But it's also, I mean, I guess just to kind of wrap this up, I mean, it's football. And that was something I was even asked by my family over the weekend, hey, like, what's intriguing you about this league? And it's football, and, especially this time, February and early March, there isn't a lot of sports going on. And, baseball is nowhere near the start of where it's going to get later on this month, and obviously months down the line. And I know March Madness is a couple weeks away, and it'll be interesting to see how and I'm sure other fans will kind of balance some of those other priorities. But, so far I've enjoyed it. And, for the second year in a row, I've enjoyed watching spring football, as I did, with arena football back in the day.
Yeah, this time of year, if you're a sports fan, you go through the fall, you have football, you have baseball until October, and then you have a little bit of time, just maybe a couple weeks, and then the NBA kicks up. So you've got, baseball ending, football and basketball take over. And then in this point in time, normally it's just basketball.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested to see, I haven't seen any statistics on how the NBA's ratings have potentially been affected by the XFL, because that would be, because like I said, the NBA is usually the only one that's in season. Now you have the XFL here too, and then that's
college basketball too, but basketball in general.
That just leaves July as the big dry month of nothingness.
Can we talk about what is wrong with Sinclair Media? Like, did y'all hear that they dropped, or them and YouTube TV did not reach an agreement on Fox Sports? So all the Fox Sports affiliates are now gone from YouTube TV, and they're already gone from like DirecTV. They've been gone from DirecTV. It's like basically the only way you can watch Fox Sports right now is like with Hulu
or cable.
Cable. It's like, what is Sinclair? What are
they went backwards.
What's that?
They went backwards.
I mean,
that's a step back from where the world's going now.
I'm an enraged sports fan right now because I was able to watch all the sports, all the Spurs games. Obviously UIL State football is played on Fox Sports Southwest, and it's like, what the heck, man? And it's like, come on, Sinclair, get your act together.
Yeah, that's
And I don't think it's on Sling TV either.
No, I think the only way
it's been dropped from there.
So
the only way it's either cable or Hulu.
Or Hulu.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a step back.
And I'm sure once Hulu's contract's up, it's just going to be cable.
Well, and I know that we're coming close on time for the end of the show, but real quickly, since we've talked about every other sport, baseball, I love how they keep trying to change the rules to speed up the game, or that they're going, we need a pitch count, or a pitcher has to come in for 3 batters or whatnot, and they're like, well, we've got to increase viewership. Put your games on streaming. Maybe have the ability to stream from your phone and don't lock out streaming devices.
Oh yeah, the blackout.
The blackouts.
I can't stand that.
And you'd probably have more people willing to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
But they've got to tweak the game, and that just frustrates me.
Well, especially if you're on one of these regional networks. I mean, Fox is obviously Fox Sports South, or not Sport. Well, I mean that's part of it, but Fox Sports Networks. It's kind of the big regional channel that's out there. But I mean, AT&T, there's one. There's NBC. There's a couple other ones, and unless you're, it sounds like Fox Sports Southwest and Fox Sports networks are getting harder to view as well, and it's gonna be interesting to see where all this goes in the future. Yeah,
would love to see it. Well, Thomas, that's our Tuesday show.
Yeah, hope y'all enjoyed it. Obviously, it was a little change of the tide, and we got to cover some other topics as well as our normal High of the Week segment, at least for ourselves personally. Obviously, you can follow us on social media, VYPE Texas on Facebook and Instagram, VYPE ATX, VYPE SATX on Twitter. Also, you can follow me on all 3 of those platforms at TexanHN.
You can follow me at Evan_UT. That's how I tweet. That's the platform I use to tweet out the show. It's a real quick, simple way. If you're looking for the show, give me a follow, and you'll be able to find it pretty easily.
You can follow me on Twitter at JoshWack13. I always plug VYPU, so you can follow them on Twitter at VYPU_A and on Instagram at VYPU. We post the stories they write. We post on there about it daily, so go check it out and support them because I know they work hard for it.
And don't forget to sign up for VYPE Campus, get extra coverage for your school and school districts. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bingham, Beyer and Producer Josh signing off.